Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing today? I hope good. I wanted to go ahead. We'll say hi to everybody that popped in here early. Butterfly Hustles was in here first. Normally, it is Richard in here first. So if you guys don't know, below me is Richard, who is OtnipDrof Flips, which is
hello, everybody.
Brad saying hi as he's walking by. Ford Pinto Flips, and I think this is Richard's first time live. So I am happy to have Richard on with us. And we have Louie, the Lonestar picker, with us, and my co-host Julian. So I appreciate everybody coming in. I see Dan, I see Joey in the chat. Thank you for coming. Amy is here. So hopefully you've had a good day. I hope. Somebody has YouTube on. Turn it off or mute it.
That was me. Sorry.
It's okay, Richard. We'll figure it out. So I see Joe. There are two Joes. There are double Joes there. There's Joe Deals, and Philly Picker is also Joe. So thank you, Joes, for being here. I am going to go ahead and make the guys big and let them introduce themselves. Richard, let's start with you. I'm just going to put you on the spot here. We'll let you introduce yourself. Just talk about your channel. His channel is pretty new. He only has a few videos, but Richard is always in the chats and very supportive of everybody. So I am going to make Richard big and let Richard talk for a couple minutes, guys.
Hello, everybody. My name's Richard. I go by the name of OtnipDrof Flipped. If you don't know what that is, that's Ford Pinto Flipped Reverse. I'm a been selling on eBay since about mid-February. I'm a part-time reseller. I have a full-time job, and that's it.
All right. Here, we'll make Richard not big anymore.
Thank you.
Harry Humstone, thank you for coming. Kim, I appreciate it. I am going to make Louie big now, and I will let Louie introduce himself. I don't think Jennifer Hayes is in the chat. If anybody else has moderator status and can drop channels for me, I would greatly appreciate it, because I don't expect Richard to do that while he is live with us. So hopefully somebody else can drop some channels. If you're not a mod and can drop channels, tell me and I will make you a moderator. So here is Louie.
Hey guys, my name is Louie. I'm known as the Lonestar Picker. Know a lot of you guys in the chat here. It's good to be here with you guys tonight. And I'm out of Austin, Texas. I've been doing eBay probably almost from the and I took a little time off as a reseller. I work on a couple other platforms such as Depop, and I'm working with Grail a little bit too. And I do some side hustles outside of many other platforms like Facebook, and I do the occasional market days and local. And I'm working on a possible booth in a local vintage mall. So, and I'm really happy to be here. Tell you guys about some stuff. So.
Yeah. I think all of us are kind of exploring other ways to make income, and mine is not because eBay is slow. eBay is great. I've actually maintained my 30K for almost 2 weeks now, which is making me pretty happy. Not by much. A couple of pickers. I am only at like 30,200, so I'll drop just below 30 and then I'll get back over it. So hopefully I can maintain that. Most of you, I'm assuming, know who I am since you're on the channel, but I am going to let Julian go ahead and kind of give himself a little blurb here and make him big for a minute, and then we'll all start chatting.
Hey y'all, I'm Julian, also known as the Beer Thrift Machine, and I have a YouTube channel. I'm also a full reseller on mostly eBay, and that's really about it. I quit my job about 10 months ago and have just started selling on eBay, and it's been crazy ever since. I have been scaling. I actually learned through Cat and been scaling like very quickly to make some money, and I'm not quite at that 30,000, but I'm getting close. So I do appreciate everybody being here tonight, for sure.
Yay! I had myself muted because I am almost out of high-speed Wi-Fi, which is what I'm running StreamYard with. and I don't know where Dalton's phone is, and it is dead, so I cannot find it, which is what I was going to run off of, but I didn't have time to find it. So
does it help you like when you're on mute, like to save, or?
It helps everybody's ears from me screaming at Brad to find Dalton's phone.
You mean the tin can cat?
Now, when I go tin can, I have to exit out and come back in, and that will help. So, yay! Eric is dropping some links. Eric, I greatly appreciate that. Eric, if you will, drop your own link. So Eric is super close to 1,000 subscribers, guys. I've been watching Eric for a long time. I would love to get him to that 1K. And for those of you that don't know, Eric is OBX Picker. If you are not subscribed to him, please do so. And also, couple of pickers are only about 20 away from 1K too, guys. So both of those channels, Eric, drop yours, and if you could drop a couple of pickers too. I think who forgot to mention YouTube? Louie. I have Louie and Richard and Julian's channels. The links are in the description below of this video if you guys would like to subscribe to them. I always, not always, but it's almost always all guys. A couple of pickers commenting on that. It seems to me, and there are a lot of us females, but I'd say overall the YouTube reselling community is dominated by males. That's just what it is. I don't know why, but it seems to be. Oh, he hit 1K. Yay! Yes, well, congratulations. Yay, Eric.
I'm almost
everybody has to watch him so he can get his hours because he doesn't have his hours.
And he's doing this big giveaway too, so you guys keep in tune.
Like, yeah, hopefully. So you have to go back because today was day 4. Eric's doing 7 days of videos with letter clues, and it's a word scramble. And I told him I don't have enough brain power to do it, so I'm not participating. But yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Couple of pickers is only 16 away, and we have 46 people in here, guys. I need 14 people to go sub to couple of pickers. Let's get them to 1,000. That would be awesome. They have tons of hours, and Rob is cheap, so they are not giving away anything. You'll have to go to Eric's channel if you would like to get free prizes. Hello, Channel Nim. I don't think I have seen you here before, morning or evening. That makes me wonder if they
a few people over, Kat. I was on another chat in the UK, and I believe they are from the United Kingdom. And I told them, I said, come to the Nurse Flippers after, because there was kind of a live thing going on. So invited some friends over, and we're gonna maybe hopefully meet some UK resellers here. We'll mash it up a little bit.
So Tracy is probably right there. eBay side is definitely dominated by males, but Poshmark is dominated by females. I prefer eBay. I haven't updated my Poshmark closet in like 65 days, but I'm still getting sales. I shipped something out yesterday, which is kind of crazy.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no. Oh, I just started Ching, guys.
Couple of pickers up to 993.
So no, don't accept it. Do not accept it. So listen, I want all of you guys to tell me what you would do. So if you watch my thrift haul, I got this amazing pottery piece for $12. And there's nothing like it. And smaller pieces sell for about 100 to 150. And this is a 9-inch jug. So somebody's offering me, they offered me 200. I countered them at 500. I have it listed at 800, and they just came back at 225. So this is really hard because this is a $200 profit, but this has only been listed for a week and a half. And I really feel like I could get $500 for this if the right buyer comes. So tell me what you guys would do. That's a $200 profit, but I am like 90% sure that I can get $500 if the right buyer comes along. So what would you guys do?
Well, I mean, like if you got your gut there, and you know what I'm learning, Kat, too, is like as of late, at least in the last 4 to 6 months, I've been going more with my gut intuition with educated guesses. But like, I'm kind of like at the point where there's times where I just want to see something flip fast. I don't want to, do overhead. And if I got the space, and like you said, if you feel 95% sure, why let it go too fast? There are times where you got to have a business plan where, like, it's new, it's fresh. What is it okay to sit on it? I mean, how big is your storage space? Like, are you?
It's really pretty. It's on the shelf right up there. It's so pretty. I kept it inside. So
Yeah.
I really don't mind it. It looks like everybody's saying wait, and I'm gonna agree. I might go back at them with. So I came down $300 to the 500 that I countered them, and they only came up 25. So now is the point.
I would have a conversation with them.
500 again.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever like reach out to the buyers or the potential prospective buyers? And I like to have a conversation. I'll warm them up. I'll butter them up, and I'll just go, hey, you know, so that you're interested. Unfortunately, I can't let it go for that low. You know, I want you to know I did come down 200 because, you know, I saw interested, and, you know, and just, you know, somehow just pick their brain. Like, say, you know, what questions do you have about this for me? You know, you have any concerns? I can tell you, about it. And sometimes they reach back out and, you know, they work.
Yeah, hold on. Brad's going to read what they wrote, what they write.
This is a great piece that this art, unfortunately, is not at the price point yours. My offer is out of I would take it as your.
So they're saying that this is a beautiful piece, but that it is not worth what I am asking. So I will tell you, small 2-inch pieces are selling for $150, and this is a 9-inch beautiful piece. And so,
yeah, I would probably sit on it for a little bit, Kat.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just tell them that we feel that we will get that price if the right buyer comes along, and there's nothing like this available on the market.
Yeah, just for that comment, I would go ahead and wait on it. I hit them back with like,
all right, guys.
505.
4 more people, guys. Come on, let's get a couple of pickers to 1K, guys. You guys are awesome that they got that close. So 4 more people, just do it.
They only need 3 more people. They're at 997.
Oh, 3 more people. Come on, guys.
Yep.
Use your other YouTube channel and come back in and.
I'm gonna get
so
1,000
they're
YouTube
asking
channels. I can subscribe to myself.
Brad, do they have any items for sale? Are they a reseller? He's playing his game. He's not gonna look. And
they might be trying to flip
it.
He's
writing him back. And then he's gonna play it.
Oh, you think they're trying to flip it, Julian?
Yeah, if it's really worth 800, they can get it for you for, you know, 225.
Yeah,
so
they can sell
here, hold on, I'll show you guys it. But I will tell you, so I told you the smaller pieces sell for 100, 200 bucks. I found 2 larger pieces as a set that sold for 1,200. But there are no pieces like this one. And this guy, it's really cool. He was the first potter in Florida. It's Merritt Island pottery, beautiful work. And so there's nothing like this. So I'm never gonna find a comp because it's the only one like it. But
you got a picture of it? Yeah.
I have.
Oh shit.
Here,
Yeah, I'm
not gonna drop it.
Don't drop it,
like, okay. Look.
If you drop it, take the 225.
So this is the piece. It's got like starfish and sand dollars on it.
Yeah.
And it is like an urn jar. Really, really pretty piece. But it's super heavy, really nice. It is like, it's signed.
What?
It's just an awesome piece. Making myself little again. So yeah, it's a really nice piece, and I don't know there were not ashes in it, Lisa and Rob.
Not that you know of.
Worth a little bit more if there were.
That's true.
I feel usually bring at least 500 to the right.
I would have never picked that up to even resell. Not gonna lie.
So I love pottery. Pottery is one of my favorite things to do. Tommy Bernhard, no. But I don't come across them often, and that little thrift store that I went to a couple weeks ago just had a ton. Lorenda, it's not that I know who the maker is, but he made like individualized pieces. Every piece was different. this artist. That's why and it's rare. He started in 1937, so this is an older piece, but he didn't pass away until the early 2000s, which is kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a small town picker. I would have never picked that up. I'd have been like, "What is this thing? It's ridiculous."
So, I mean, with pottery, especially if it's marked, all you have to do is look up the maker. And like, I could read this really easy, Merritt Island Potters, and then see that these pieces sold for a lot of money on eBay.
Yeah.
They're only one away. They're literally
One
only
person,
one away.
go subscribe to
$9.99.
Josh,
I think
go
I think
subscribe.
something you said, Julian, like, like the more ridiculous it is, I think all the more reason to go look at it. If you got an item like that.
Oh yeah.
I would be, because from my experience, and I worked in art auctions in New York, and you see the most unique things kind of pass through that a lot of people are not familiar with and whatnot. And it's like Kat said, once you look up the maker on the bottom of it, I found this like ridiculous little piece of pottery, but it was really nicely glazed. And when I looked it up, I couldn't quite figure out, but I knew it was on the East Coast because the name went all the way up to New England. There was different variations of that name, and it went into the Carolinas. Soon as I posted it, I posted what I knew about it, that who I thought that there was prospective artists and whatnot. And some lady out of like South Carolina wrote me. She says, I'm very familiar with the artist, but I think your price is a little too high. Would you come down to this price? And I said, yeah, I'll negotiate with you. How about meet me in the middle?
Nice.
That for 20 cents.
Yeah. And I mean, I will do that, but like I have it priced at 800. So I took $300 off of what I felt like I could get for it. So
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I went back. Brad countered them back at 500, which was my original counter.
He did?
I paid $12 for it. Girl hustle, $12. So
That's
not too bad.
You don't even know if it's like
clap for them, everybody. Woohoo! Yay, couple of pickers.
Not even
So
5
happy.
minutes.
Yeah, that was actually pretty
fast.
impressive.
Super fast, guys. You
Good
guys
job,
are
everybody.
amazing.
They're saying I'm
So-
awful quiet, Cat. In the chat.
Richard,
they're saying I'm quiet.
Richard, you have to tell me, Richard, how have your sales been this week? Are you still selling all that Christmas China?
Yeah, I still have that. I've sold probably about 15% of it. Made well over what I paid for it. But sales for the last couple of weeks have been a little slow for me. Probably doing about maybe anywhere from about 12 to about 14 a week. But I'm a part-timer, so I can handle that.
Yeah.
How many listings do you have up now, Richard?
Right now, as of today, I've got 4. I believe it's like 484.
Okay.
The last couple
So
days,
that-
I've
Typically, that would be like 4 a day, 2 to 4 a day. So you're right at it with 14 or so a week.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've been doing the last couple of days to try to bump up my listings. Did a lot of RA.
Mhm.
I did a video this morning. I dropped it about RA, and then I went out. I couldn't help myself. I went out today and picked up some more.
Yeah, I saw that stuff, and you've got a decent margin. There's nothing like high dollar, but when you're paying 10 cents or $1 or $2 and flipping it into $20, that's still a pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Frank,
the nice thing about living in a small
Frank?
town is
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you say that. Like, and I haven't found that to be true here, though, at our Walmart. I wish I did, but I haven't.
And don't be afraid to ask. I went up and talked to a manager. They had some fungicide. I had some, I think that was like one of the first things I listed when I first opened my account on eBay. I had bought it for $3 and sold it for like $26. I couldn't believe it. Went to my local Walmart. They had 264. That was a rough count. And so I asked the manager if they would take $250 for all of them. I went and did the math, and I was like, yeah, I think I can go ahead and splurge and do that. She wasn't willing. She said she could do 4 for each, and I was all like, well, no, I can't do that. So I'll wait, let it come down a little bit more, and then I'll hopefully be able to swoop a lot of them up.
That was this time that they had that many?
Yeah.
Or that
I
was
went
before?
no, this time. I went today, and so I was all like, I've been watching them for the last couple of days, see if they come down. They have them at $655 each, which is still an okay profit to make on it. But you know, why pay $655 when you can get them for $250?
Right. Yeah, and if they have that many, they're going to go down before they sell out of them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Have you had luck in the past? Like, have you had luck speaking to upper management? And is this something new you do, or something regularly you do? Or you have?
No, I've done it all the time. I'm not afraid to go into Walmart, and especially on things they have on clearance, saying, look, you've had this sitting in the store on clearance for a couple days. I'll give you this for it. They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt to
And
ask.
I imagine if you made a relationship, though, that they might be more like if you got them to go, I would think.
Well, they know me. I have a rapport with a lot of them because, you know, I think we talked before, I used to do couponing. I still do a little bit, but not as heavy as I used to.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Louie, how many listings do you have up?
So I kind of got behind. I was almost at 600, and then, like, you know how it goes. I'm right now, I'm just playing with eBay. I have to get, I've been really lazy on my other platform, Depop, and stuff keeps selling out of there, and I'm just not doing anything with it right now. And I got a bin full of vintage t-shirts. I'm trying to work on that. I want to get back up where I have just as many listed as I do sold on the Depop. But eBay, I'm just a few away from 600, and you know it averages. But I got really behind this weekend because I did 3 days of sourcing. There was a gigantic community sale. There's like about 45 homes in 2 different divisions, and man, I was surprised I got away with so many good deals. It was, you know, getting up early, really early, and you know, in a couple of cases I just drove by the people. Is it okay to come in? You know, it didn't start till 8. I was there like at a quarter after 7. They're like putting their stuff out. I just asked, and in 2 places I asked, I said, you got any video games? And I never have been having any success in the last month or 2. And 2 people said, yeah, let me go get it for you. You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I need to get back to like doing 10 to 20 or more, you know, listings a day. I mean, I'm a slow poke when it comes to it, but I do my drafts first and then I take photos, or vice versa.
I've been doing a lot off the ones my mom's taking photos of, so I can kind of list it whenever, wherever that I get a chance. But that has slowed me down in listing my stuff, you know, that I'm not having her take photos of because I'm trying to list hers. But I have gotten up to, let's see, I'm at 2,348 listings. So I've gotten it up quite a bit. Yeah. So my mom doing that's helping. Most of it's lower priced. But some of the brochures and stuff are already selling. If you guys didn't see on Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, I have 110 pounds coming to me. I don't know. Jennifer's amazing at this. Jennifer, if you could find Thrifty Mullet's Instagram link and link it in the chat, that would be amazing. So Thrifty Mullet does not have a YouTube. I don't know that he even comes on YouTube, but he picked up 110 pounds of stuff.
Yeah, he needs a YouTube. He's good.
I think I asked him once. He's like, nah. You know.
Yeah, he said maybe next year is what he told me. So I told him I'll definitely promote him when he does it. But him and his wife went and picked up a whole car full of stuff for me. Like literally 110 pounds. And then he boxed it up. And I swear he probably used like 3 rolls of eBay tape on those boxes. If you see the pictures.
It is ridiculous the amount of tape he used. I
More
didn't
than
know
you
it was at first. I thought it was a bean bag, like an eBay bean bag.
One of the boxes was 60 pounds and one was 50. So yeah, that's it. I'm hoping. Thank you, Lorinda. I appreciate that. I have like it's so funny. I went to the antique stores today and they're like, what do you sell? And I'm like, a little bit of everything. Like, and I really do. Like, it's so crazy.
Are you going to work on trying to figure out who that YouTuber is?
What YouTuber?
The one at the antique mall.
The
Was that the same
mall?
place?
I don't really care. I searched for like the name of the antique mall and I didn't really find anything. Dan, only about less than 100 are scarves right now, but I have over 1,000 scarves coming. And I say in my video that I'm putting out tomorrow, but I might do some wholesale lots if people want to buy some, because that's just going to be like overwhelming amount of scarves. So I might do like 20 packs or 30 packs because I think like 50 here already that I just got. And then there are probably 1,000 coming. I'm hoping, and this is one of the things too with those estate auctions. So they had like Christian Dior, Vince Camuto, all these high and like those scarves go for hundreds of dollars, but they had pulled those out and they were in like groupings of just the expensive scarves. And I actually backed down on them and I lost them. Because it was getting into like $5+ per scarf, and I just didn't want to be in that for something to sit. So I'm hoping that they didn't go through these 1,000 scarves and find every single one of those high name brand scarves to pull out. That's my hope.
Cherry pick is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just bought a closet.
But there are a lot in those lots with tags. So that I saw new with tags that not high-end brands, but I saw like some Ralph Lauren, some Calvin Klein that were brand new with tags. So,
right. What were you gonna say, Julian?
Yeah, I just bought a huge like master bedroom closet on high bid, and the more like the auction went on, I was seeing that stuff that they may have pulled out of that closet that was like more high end, and I was thinking I might have been left with a whole bunch of trash. I don't really know. Tomorrow will be. It's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's like I counted 30 to 40 pairs of shoes and hundreds of clothing articles for like $20. $20 plus 13%. So it was super cheap, but it might be worth. It might be worth nothing.
Closet I got, they didn't pull the stuff. Like
no.
So, Frank, the stuff my mom is doing for me, and then I'll let the guys answer if they do it that way. So the stuff my mom's doing. Like scarves are all under 4 ounces, so the weight doesn't matter. And she's also listing like pamphlets and brochures, same thing. They're all under 4 ounces, so I don't need to know the weight. The stuff that I do, I will typically weigh, and a lot of it, I'm good enough that I've done it so much repetitively. I can get pretty close. I'm off occasionally, but most times the eBay discount will cover the difference. Like if I'm a pound under, the discount I get ends up
or even if
covering
they buy multiples. I mean, like something that light, it's not going to matter, So like give them a small percentage off or just whatever, You're like, yeah, whatever. I'll give you a discount on shipping because it's not going to cost anything.
Yeah.
Right.
If somebody comes in and wants more than one or something.
I never take. I always do. I do it like all together. Like I picture and then post. I don't ever like hold pictures or anything.
Yeah, I don't like to hold pictures either too much.
I would never like look at the pictures again. That would be it. I would take a picture, then lose it, or take another 100 pictures, and so I do everything all at once.
Tools, and I was talking to Leroy, and I were like, saying like some tools have engravings on it and stuff like that, so you can't really use the picture. Now, if I have a new item and I know that I'm gonna like, do like Richard, and you're gonna go in for like some retail arbitrage, and I'm going to get that again. I know I'm going to go to the other Walmart. Maybe even though you sold the stuff out, keep a picture sometimes. It doesn't take up too much room, but like, to have, a quantity stock of the stuff that, one-offs you did, just get rid of them,
and being full-time, like I have a system now where I have like listing time, sourcing time. So I don't ever hold. If it's my sourcing time, it's exactly what I'm doing for 4 or 5 hours, and if it's my listing time, that's what I do. So you have to be pretty, you got to be pretty organized. I found that I have to be organized, because if not, my day I will do nothing. I'll sit on like YouTube and TikTok.
And you're not being efficient with your time. If you're not being with your time, like, what are you doing? You're squandering like another opportunity and a possibility to like carry up and get that next best thing, or like, you know, you got something sitting in the corner, like I got these, you know, golf clubs, and it's like I'm rushing. It's, to me, it seems like as of late, like for example, this weekend I got like some good deals, and I'm like, I need to hurry up and get it out there. I got a $300 Harley jacket I need to list, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I got 3 paintball guns that I just, you know, with all these accessories for like $30. I was like, I got to hurry up and get that on there, you know, and 3 video game systems. And it's like, you know, you're kind of like weighing the level, like which is going to sell faster, but what's going to bring in more money to, you know, get my ROI back. Because, you know, you're always looking at your investment. And then, like you said, back to like the efficiency of it, you know.
Oh, yeah. I just picked up paintball guns, too. I've never even, this guy walked up and I picked up 3 for $20. And I tested, well, I tested them because they came with carbon fiber, like tanks, and one was full. So I tested two had some pretty like bad leaks, and so they weren't really that great. And but they both sold today for like $65 a piece, even just parting them out.
You did really good, yeah. Because either you can part it out, and ones that leak, they're just valves or gasket things, you know. People and those guys in that field, that they don't care. They just want to buy it for that cheap,
right?
Knowing darn well they're either going to need the parts later, or they'll take what they want and they give it to a buddy, you know, who deals with that stuff. And then, you know,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, $20, I can't go wrong. I mean, they were pretty decent guns. I thought they were. They felt decent. So
like each of you, I'm kind of curious. Like, here's kind of a weird question. It's like, I'll play the game where like I don't want to think about it too much. I mean, I do figures pretty quick, but like when you're in a situation where you're not overly familiar with a specific item, but you know about it in theory, right? And you're like thinking about it, and you're just set eyes on it, and you know everybody's ready to jump and pounce on it. Once you have it in your hands, it's technically like yours to like go up and, you know, I'm gonna get this, you know. And but once you figure out like, shoot, should I pay that much? And you ask the person, I'll waste $20 if I know that I can get like close to 100 or more. You know, do you guys have like a, you know, like dollar items? I don't care. $5, I'll risk it, you know, all the time. But what do you guys do in situations like that? Because I don't like to waste money, but
mine was those paintball guns. It was the guy wanted like $30, and he just walked up with them all, and I was the first one to look at them, and I was like, I give you 20 because I was ready to risk $20. And just like I felt like there was a lot there for $20. I was like, I gotta be able to get $20 back. So 20 is usually my limit to like just really be okay to risk. And
I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, just play the game with $20. I know that's not even a lot of money, but I don't like to waste a lot. You know, I'm pretty cheap.
Yeah, but I'm also like playing this thing where in my head, like if I don't invest a little bit, was like what's the term? Pay up. If I don't pay up a little, I'm gonna get it, you know. But that's.
I did just buy a fishing reel. It's a Penn 7500 SS made in the United States. I did pay up $61 for that because it just came with a custom rod. So number one, I'll probably keep the rod, but I know that I'll be able to sell the Penn for at least like 100 to 115. So
you're confident on it. So
yeah, super confident on that one. And the rod's
and you get a free rod out of it. Yeah.
Get a free rod out of it. Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
You can go ahead, Richard. How much would you spend in that situation if you're not sure?
If I'm not sure, I would try to look it up. If I couldn't find anything, I would probably pass on it.
Yeah.
I'm just too new of a reseller to, and don't know enough about certain items. So a lot of times I pass things up and then regretted it later. But I'd rather pass it up than make a bad buy.
I passed something up today, and it was I might end up going back, and hopefully it's still there. It was a Fenton lamp that would probably sell for $300, possibly upwards of $1,000, and it was only $30 at the antique store that I went to. And I looked it up after. Why didn't I get that? But I know where it's at, and I don't think there's super heavy traffic, so hopefully I can get that. Juan V had a question saying this is his first Q4. recommendations on how to prepare. I know a lot of people stock up on new items. My husband's actually been looking at pallets with new items, but we're finding that most pallet prices this year are super high.
Right.
And I don't think I'm honestly going to change anything. And my Q4 last year was smooth. I didn't really get a bump, but I didn't get a drop. So I'm fine with being consistent throughout the year and not getting that Q4 bump. A lot of people depend on Q4 for a majority of their income, but I like it where it's even throughout the year. So I will look a little more for like new items and toys, but I don't really do much more except for lists, like lists. And I've got a lot more collectibles this year than I did last year. So I'm hoping some of that will sell. What are you guys doing as far as Q4?
I'm ordering a ton of priority boxes right now.
Yeah.
I should do that.
I would say the same like to Juan. Is Juan new here in the chat?
He is. I've not seen him before. So
welcome, Juan.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, it's a great question,
Yes,
and I think your question is kind of almost threefold. Like what one does. Like, you know, Richard says he's new, but I know he's smart. Like, you know, you went in there, you're buying, you know, retail arbitrage, you're calculating the risks and stuff like that. So I would tell Juan, you know, don't listen to everybody. I mean, but with a grain of salt, like do what your gut tells you. But like having fresh new items, and especially if you can get them at multiples, is a good thing. But here's like for me, my thresholds may be different from like his or hers, you know. But I would just say go with your gut, and if you know you can get your money back on it, you know, like even just kind of, you know, clean and break even, maybe consider it. But like do like stuff like Richard does. See if you can get it cheaper. You know, go in there and hunt it down, but try to always get some fresh stock. But because like if you have the same old stuff one-offs, you know, Christmas can be, I think we're going to do a good fourth quarter, but I don't know. You know, it depends on what you have. Everybody's stock is different. But it brings up a good point. If you have not ordered, if you haven't even started thinking about ordering any supplies, like I got 4 rolls of bubble wrap, and I'm already going through it like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like if you don't start ordering I was talking to Kelly, reseller Luis, and he's like, oh, I just got in my priority supplies. I said, stop. He's like, what? I'm like, order more. Go right.
Yeah.
Get on there and reorder. But I said, get on there. And he goes, you're right. Because last year I had the same problem, you know, and I'm like, get on there, order it. Because you don't have room, whatever. Ask your neighbor to put it in the garage. Stick it on the roof.
Hey, can I borrow your garage until
Put it anywhere.
January, please?
I noticed you and your wife broke up. You mind if I use the spare bedroom?
So as far as Q4, this is my first year on eBay, so I hear a lot of talk about Q4, and a lot of people are preparing for it. So I went out and purchased a bunch of like toys, things like that, and I've already got them listed and see how well they'll do. Could come back and bite me. I don't know, but it was worth the gamble. So we'll just see. I think right now I'm prepping for, I guess, Q2 with all the gardening supplies I've picked up.
Yeah, but you know, you may never know. There may be different seasons at different places. People will buy them like before the second quarter comes up. You know, they're like really big. And then there's people that are faithful to a brand. You may be the only one who has it. You know, you may, you know, and you may just clean. You might be able to clean bank, and hopefully ahead of time. You know, you ever do like you'll have like 20 of one item, and you put the listing up once, but then maybe like you do a 2 for 1 deal. You ever do that?
Yeah, I actually have a bunch of pinback buttons that I purchased, big lot from Mr. Buys a Lot, and I didn't put all the lots out there. I'll put like 1 and 2, and they have a lot of watchers on them, and they'll be selling probably about once a week, maybe twice a week. And then I'll re-up at one again and then just keep them going, because if they see you have all this inventory for it, then they know they can probably get your price down cheaper.
Yeah, I only list like 10, even if I have 100. Like my CVS nasal mist, I only list like 10 at a time. And then when it gets down to like 2 or 3, I'll bump it back up to 10. Because same thing, like if they think it's going to be there forever, they have no push to buy it now.
Or I found one guy, I had multiples of something that sat there for a long time, and he goes, and apparently I gave him a deal. Like where I said, hey, if you order this, I'll give you 2 for 1, because it's sitting there. And it was like something I pretty much got for free. He comes back and he goes, I noticed you have like 7 more. Will you give me the same price? And I want it for this month. Because it's been like something that I didn't want in my inventory, But Kat, you're right. I did that with a retail arbitrage with my local grocery store, and they had these little beer salts. They look like little beer bottles, and went in there and like just scored really good deal on them. And like, now they're selling like 3 for almost $9 or something like that. People, it's that simple. You don't do any, you just reply and then change the number from like when it goes down to 3 back up to 10,
Smart to do.
I just sold a license plate, guys. So I'm copying. I'm not copying because I think Kevin keeps all of his license plates. I'm selling them, but I'm watching for license plates because some of them sell super high. This one only sold for like $8.50, but I only paid a couple bucks for it, so I'm all right with that.
Speaking of license plates, I was at an estate sale about this specific one. It was probably about exactly a month ago, and it was funny because this license plate had my daughter's name, which is rare, and it was after a car. It was like Corvair or something like that, but it was spelled. They cut off a couple letters to spell her, and it had spelled her name. So I went there, and I'm like, this place was 50 years of collecting. I mean, this place had everything and anything, but it had a lot of Japanese collectibles. And as soon as I went in there, I was like one of the first few, and this lady goes, "Where is that Japanese license plate for?" A little more. I'm like, "What's up?" So I started listening, and I'm like, "What?" And everybody was like, "Yeah, where is it?" And they're like all in this one room. They started freaking out. I'm like, "Just for this tiny license plate, Then immediately my light bulb was like, I want to learn about this. What is so imperative about this little mini scooter Japanese license plate? And these ladies were like punching each other, like, get her, fighting over it. But estate sales are the best lately. I don't know what it is. The last 6 months, I'm so hooked. I've been finding my best stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I got good stuff this past weekend at estate sale. And I'm the opposite of you, though, Louie. I don't go early. I go late. I like to go right before they close. They're more likely to make a deal. And there's less people.
But I
have to drive over an hour. So it's too far for me to do both.
No. And you work full time and you got a child. For me, I'm like, I'm there. It's like, I know when I look at a photo, if I find what I want, like, I was talking to somebody goes, do you know anything about Pyrex? So I said, I'll tell you what I learned is if you know the word, write this down in the chat. It's butterprint, Amish. And then there's 3 colors. There's turquoise, pumpkin, and salmon. If you know that, all you gotta do is go to comps and eBay, look up the highest. You're gonna freak out for like some of them, depending on $500 for one bowl. It's like
I'm looking that up right now.
Butterprint.
So,
Butterprint, Pyrex, and the word Amish.
Debs, I want to answer you real quick. My new store I just opened not super long ago, and it did not automatically get put on managed payments. So I think the answer to that is no. And it looks like a couple of people in chat said that as well. So I don't think opening a store automatically means you're on managed payments. And then Midwest Merchandiser. I would say.
Yeah, you're right.
Crazy, no?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It just depends. What do you guys think as far as a store? I like once. I think I don't even remember. I want to say maybe once I got near like 200, like at 200, I got it, and then I upgraded once I was close to 500. I have the premium store because I hit that 1,000. I'm not gonna upgrade to an anchor store because it's like $300 a month. And right now they're doing all these free listings. So I'm just going to stick with the premium. And if I have to pay 10 cents extra a listing, that's still cheaper than the $300. So I'm going to
meet that criteria. Then you can always bump it up later, right?
Yeah, you just got to do the math on how much, and how many listings you're doing, plus the 15 cents or whatever, and whenever that.
Yeah, if you have premium,
Yeah.
it's only 10 cents, which is nice. So
I
I
would
have premium.
I would think that if you're doing that much in volume, Cat, that you're going to have also a hard time. Like, once your numbers go up, you're going to be selling so much more that you're going to have to really, like, your going to go crazy after a while. I'm not listening anymore.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep your numbers going, because I'm only at like 13. Today I hit 1350, and then I'm already back down to like 1341.
Ready to drop at 290 something, right?
Yeah, so I mean, tomorrow I got to go back and list more and stuff. So, but the store, I think I opened my store almost immediately. I bought a like the small one, I guess, and then I went to the.
Are you like Cat? You don't write that many details. You just throw it in there.
I write some details because a lot of my stuff doesn't work. I'm always like, this is for parts. But a lot of things, no. If I don't really measure my clothing, and I don't get a lot of returns on clothing. If they want to know, I will, I'll measure it and send them the questions. But other than that, I don't write a whole bunch in there.
It's say extra large. Buy it or
extra large. You're an extra large. Yeah. So no, but I usually
retro. Let's see, where'd it go? Retro, a giant 5-foot plush, if you can smush it into a bag, I would say yes, they are willing to pay for it. I sold giant Fozzies and Kermits, and people paid $100 in shipping. So I would list it. I don't think it's gonna hurt to try, So look at a couple of pickers here. 6,300 listings. They have an anchor store.
Wow.
But there's two of them, right? There's two people doing it, right?
Yeah, there's two full time. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. That's bad.
You're talking about Kermit or something.
No, that was the plush. I don't remember.
6,300 is a ton of listings. That's impressive.
Yeah, that is. That's. But like I said, that I'm not downplaying. But like when you got two people, you can do like the work of three people sometimes.
She's saying 1.5 people's. Rob's a slapper. I was gonna say I don't measure clothes either, and I haven't been measuring the scarves, but I've got a ton of questions about the scarves and their measurement. So for all of the scarves going forward, I bought 2 yardsticks, and I'm gonna have Mom photograph them like inside of the yardsticks in an L, and I'll either write the measurements or actually post a picture showing the measurements with the yardsticks, because way more questions than on clothing. And I get it, because some of these scarves are like 20 inches, some of them are 36, and I'm just like, here's a scarf, and I mean they're still selling surprisingly, but I'll measure them.
I liked your idea of the wholesale lots. That's what I would do with them scarves.
I'm not gonna do it with all though. I mean, I probably will do some good ones.
Yeah.
Frank, I do not recommend free shipping, especially if you're new, you don't know the weight, you could get caught, you could lose money. I will tell you, I am one of the people that if I see something, I will take advantage of new resellers that they're offering free shipping, and I know that I'm paying less than the shipping and they're going to lose money. So there are people like me that are going to watch that. And if I can buy something like Dalton's tricycle, that's for like personal purchases, not for reselling. But if I see stuff, I'm like, no, there's no way like that this tricycle shipping for $20, And sure enough, I paid $19.99. It was $23 for them to ship it to me. So I would do calculated, unless you're doing small things under £1, in which case you could do a flat rate of like $4 or $5. Or you can do free and add $5. I don't like doing free shipping because on returns, I have the option of not refunding them the shipping. And if you do free shipping, that option is gone.
I love what Heidi said. She's like, free shipping gives me the hives.
Oh, Mommy has
Even
to
like half the chat are like, do calculate it. What were you going to say, Richard?
I think that was probably my biggest fear about eBay was the shipping. Everything else I didn't have a problem with. It was the shipping, but I think, you know, more and more you start shipping and you start figuring things out, it becomes easier. It becomes second nature to you. You can pick up an item, you know what it's gonna cost to ship, and so it's like, well, am I going to do free shipping or am I going to do calculated shipping or a flat rate?
So what are you doing?
It depends on the item. If it's under a pound, and depends on the item, more than likely I'll go free shipping. Some items I don't do free shipping on. It just depends on what the market's doing out there. I'll look and see what comps are going, and if they actually are charging shipping, then I'll go ahead and charge shipping.
Yeah. Dalton's the back.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he saw the light on Sam. He just got up. Yeah, no, I do the same too, Richard. And sometimes it's items that like I don't want to do free shipping, but if every single other listing on eBay is free shipping, I know there's no way that mine is going to sell with calculated. So in those few rare instances, I will do I'll do free shipping, even though I might not really want to. But if everybody else is doing it on that type of item, like all my button-up shirts are free shipping because like 75% of button-up shirts are free shipping. So if I come in here and do plus $5 shipping, I'm not going to get as many sales. Yeah. And I haven't had any returns, knock on wood, on my Hawaiian button-ups or I had 2 returns on the t-shirts because they just didn't like them. So not a lot.
And luckily, you know, if you know your cost of good is, you know,
low, you're good. I usually I was doing a lot of free shipping, and then I stopped doing it. I still do free shipping on tools that can go in a padded flat rate.
Yeah.
Like big stock.
Just for newbies, just tell them do cost of good, you know, like, I mean, calculated of that. With the whole
it's all the same, really, because you it's a higher price for free shipping for the person. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
But until they figure it out,
yeah. But for the end consumer,
fee-wise, you're not going to pay a promoted fee on the cost of shipping. But if you do free shipping, you are paying the cost of that promoted on that listing if you're promoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching Rally Roots, and they said that they did no free shipping, but they also put the numbers up for their store. It was lower. They're down like 33% in sales.
Wow.
So he was saying
17. It's been coming up because my last few days have been. Oh, I'm actually only down 11% now. My sales have been picking up. I'm at 275 today, and then yesterday was 367. So not too bad.
That's pretty good. I think I crested 400 today, and I was over, I think, 3 yesterday. So not too bad. I've been sourcing a lot, though. So when you source, you have to list a ton.
Well, that's just it, you know. It's like if you're like kind of just doing the majority of the work and you're carrying the load yourself, you really got to manage your time. Like later on, I'm like this year, I'm starting to go full time, and it's like, wow, it's like really like a balancing act. And the more and more, I'm like, if I can't sell it either in bulk and lots, I don't want these, you know, too many little stuff. That's like now I'm even like starting to go, is it under 20? I don't even want to think about it. You know, I want it to be big numbers coming in. You know, I want consistent, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if I see something that flips really fast, like there's like 2 or 3, you know, a day or whatever, you know, once a day, you know, 7 times a week, I'm going to sell that stuff and let it go, you know. But I'm reaching a higher threshold, and it's just nice to see when the sales come in and they're at least 25 or more, you know, and it's like, okay, good. You know, I'm doing something right for the first time in a little while, you know.
So where is everyone's ASP at? So for those of you that don't know, ASP is your average sales price. So I just hit 1,000 sold in the last 90 days. I'm running right at like $31, which I'm okay with. I would love it to be higher, but $31 I don't think is too horrible. Where are you guys at for your average sales price? Do you know?
Like 23.
Okay.
Yeah, mine kind of goes between like 18 and 20, 21 or something like that. You know, it's like it's been, but there is some big ticket items sitting to wait, and I'm just, you know, it'll average it out, and it comes up, and it's like somewhere between 20 and 25 is where I'm kind of floating in between. I'm
I'm like right
I've
there.
noticed I'm also, as I'm doing my inventory once a week, I'm learning too. It's like I have so much stuff that's from like a while back, and then I don't know what, you know, I was thinking last year when I restarted up again. You know, like I put some like low end stuff, and it's like I'm going back, and it's like get rid of it, get rid of it. You know, that low threshold stuff. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't care how much value is. I'm just donating it, and it's like I want either stuff that's, I don't care if it's low cost, but it's like consistent and fast, because it's like those, you know, nickels and dimes. Like, you know, a lot of the bigger time, you know, like, hey, I'd rather sell, you know, 100 of one of these things that are moving fast, even if though it's like, you know, $5 each or something. I'm looking for, you know, something a little higher. Richard, what about you?
I'm trying to look. I can't find it.
Richard, just look at your 90-day and just divide the amount by the number of items you sold.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I actually haven't done that. Let me check. Was it 20?
That's good on this stuff. She's like good on her numbers.
Well, I'm lucky I'm at 1,000, so that's easy to divide. You know, I have an even number to figure it out. I've been trying to do, and it's kind of against like the way my head works. Like with my dishware and stuff, I'm doing them in lots of 2 or 4 to get that average sales price up. So instead of doing like $10 or $15 for one plate, I'm doing, you know, like $30 for a set. And the scarves, I might do the same thing, like either the reseller lots or, you know, 2 similar patterns in the same brand to get it to, you know, $30 for 2 or 3, whatever it is, just to try and keep that up. Because same thing, I told Julian, like yesterday I shipped out 40 items and it was only $1,000, and that felt like so much work. And $1,000 isn't negligible, but for 40 items, I felt like I should have, you know, I should have been at more, because I had tons of like $8, $10, $12. And I'm like, come on, like, you know?
Yeah.
All right. It turns out I'm at $31.52.
There you go.
So Julian is right, where Julian and I have very similar numbers, very similar sourcing strategies.
You're making me go back. It's like,
everybody recheck their numbers. What were you at, Richard?
I still don't know yet. I'm trying to look at my last 90-day sales. I got the last 90 days sales. I just don't have the quantity.
Oh, I always look on the phone. The phone's the easiest way.
Yeah, the phone does it.
Oh, okay.
Yay! So Thrifters is in Australia, guys. They had these cool little animal on the side of the road in their video I watched from yesterday. They hit 100 subscribers, which we were trying to get them to last week, but we didn't.
nice.
So we got them to it this time. So congratulations, you two. That is awesome. So it's cool seeing everybody's look. We got a lot of $25 totals in here for average sales price. So
And that's good.
What's yours?
Mine's at 20.
Okay. So Midwest Merchandiser is at $30. So I want to know, for you guys that are at 25, like Richard, you're at 20. I know I would like to get, I'm happy at 30 because I was at like 20, 25. I would like to get to $35, $40 mark. So where do you guys want to be realistically, like by the end of Q4, for example? And in the chat, you guys tell me if you're happy at your $25 or where you want to be realistically. I mean, we all want to be at like $200 or something, but
realistically,
We're at $1,000.
that's not realistic, really. Or maybe it is. I mean, you know what? But
Who knows?
I was going to bring up the topic.
We have a plan, yeah.
But that's just it. Like, so part of that. Because she's doing that.
Yeah, their internet.
Yeah. No, you know what? If you have big aspirations and like you really are, like, how long are you going to stay and do these one-offs and like, you know, one-trick pony is what I call it. You're going to do this one-trick pony kind of thing all the time. Like lately, the other day, you know, I was listening to a couple of resellers and accumulated with some other ideas that other resellers were talking about. And part of that 45 garage sale this weekend, I started talking to this guy, and I just was honest with him. I said, "Are you a reseller?" Because like he had all his sneakers nicely laid out, but then he had like some other multiples of something. But then he had this little table like knives, and I went, "Oh, you know, I'm starting the markets back up, and all these kids are like with their mom, any knives, any knives, any knives," and I immediately went, "So you reseller?" And you know, and I hit him up and I gave him all kinds of information advice. He's like, "Yeah, I do know that guy. I know that YouTube channel and this and that." I'm like, "Okay, I'll do this. And here's some more information and this." And I'm just like, "Here's my card. If you ever want to ask a question or you want to talk shop, come reach me. How much are your knives?" He's like, "Oh, you know, these are like," you know, I'm like, "How much for all of them?" He's like, "Oh, you know," I'm like, $50, like almost 15 knives, you know. And then,
Yeah.
Not the best quality, but some of them were pretty big.
Yeah.
14 inches. And then there was like a bunch. And I went right away in my head. I was like, that's 150 if I get what I want for them.
Yep.
Definitely doubling it. You know, and I'm like, here's $50. I didn't even try to get him to go down because he gave me a good deal. I mean, he pretty much. And I said, "Is that the last of them?" I said, "Listen, here, take them off. Take this. I want you to source, but the next week you go out, I want you to take an educated risk. I want you to do something big. And I want you to buy something that you're confident with and think about how you can quadruple it, not double it." And he's like, "Yeah, you know, I want to do that." And I'm like, "There you go, man. You know, reach out to us, get on there, you know." And he was like, these really nice guys, but he was Shy. You know, he's like this young African American guy, but he has all this stuff. And I'm like, "What are you doing to put yourself to the next level?" He's on Amazon, but he's like, "I'm gated." I'm like, "Then you need to watch this person, this person, this person. They'll tell you about Amazon. They'll tell you what to do." You know, that's a luxury for us. We have this community. Hey, Julian, how do you do this? How do you sell these tools? Hey, Kat, what do I do with these damn baskets? I don't want them anymore.
What's with the Potter?
It's so funny though. Like everybody thinks I'm like I know all this stuff, and I don't. I know like a little bit about a lot.
No, you know a lot
like,
though.
But
you're
scarves,
smart.
it's like they see me selling. I'm like I don't like. I have to look it up.
Kat,
Even dishware.
You know money. You know money. You know money. And that's really what it comes down to. Like when you see it, you're like, "What can I get for this?" And you know you're gonna, you know, you're getting it for this low price. You're like, "I don't know if this is worth that for that price. Let me have it." And you're selling it. You know,
Right. I'll figure it out. Well,
exactly.
and I want to answer Gravity Goods real quick first. To get your average sales, if you look in the eBay app and like it'll say your 60 or 90-day total, it'll tell you how many items have sold and your money total. So you want to take your money total and divide it by the number of items you sold, and that will tell you your average sales price. Keep in mind that does include shipping. So that kind of plays a part there. So Brad,
I shipped some big things.
Yeah, Brad was saying the other day, he's like, "You keep going through these phases." So it was the jewelry. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you will see me do this. So if I get something and like, say I get like a small lot of it and it's selling good, I'm going to go find more. And that's what's happening with the scarves. I'm like, I'm sending out $60 to $80 in scarves a day. So I'm like, I'm going to find more. And I go big when I go, like, just like the jewelry. I ended up at the end of my little I'm on jewelry kick. I sold all of it to Flippin' Flamingos wholesale and said, "Here, take this 30 pounds of jewelry. I have them over it. I'm on to the next thing." So, I mean, I'm going to follow what's making me money. So if you get one thing that makes you a really good profit, try and find more. Yeah. And I do go through cycles. So that's why, like me sharing, I don't care, because by the time you guys find scarves, I'm probably going to be on to whatever the next thing is, you know? So I'm not looking for them anymore. Plus I have 1,000. I'm no, good.
But like when you find something new and it's nice enough that it's fresh and different than what you sold before. Because for us, it's like, I think it's important for us to change it up a little bit, but always stick with what you really feel good about. Like if you felt great about the scarves, I mean, like, look at the simplicity of it. Show them but boom, boom, boom.
They're 2 ounces. It's a front, back, and I do like a little curled up picture, and that's it. And Tommy, I'm not either. I keep saying I'm only going to pick stuff up if it'll sell for $40, and then I see something new with tags that'll make me $25, and I'm going to buy it. You know,
I
can't walk by money, and I'm okay with putting that work out if I'm already listing all this other stuff. I'm listing brochures for $8 a piece, but they take me 5 minutes. So if I make $8 in 5 minutes, I mean, you guys figure it out. So that's, you know what, 16 bucks times 6, whatever that is. It's like $70.
Tommy's used to walking by money. Let him walk by money. He's
No,
got
he
a
said
little.
he can't walk by money.
Yeah, somebody said
So drifters, thrifters, and that's the thing. Like, you need to know your profit. So I want to be at like $165 a day in profit, which is $100,000 a year, or maybe it's $265 a day is $100,000 a year in profit, and that is where I want to be. Whether that means me being at $500 a day, which is what I figured. Enter Dalton. So 500 a day, I run about 50% would get me to that 265 and to 100,000 a year in profit. And that's kind of like my ultimate goal. I'm not going to complain if I go above that, but that's where I would like to be. I'm going to mute while I'm not talking.
That's
so
a
you
great
don't
aim. Like, what do you guys have?
mask.
My potential aims is like to kind of reach that plateau, you know, like Kat's talking about, like where, you know, my thing is in order to reach that goal. So like, not to get all cliche and talk, you know, uber positivity, but like, to me, I think it's really imperative if you don't, as a reseller, like set some kind of small aims in between, and the aims are what, like, I think, you know, I'm talking about on a daily basis. You can have a weekly goal, but I think we also have these monthly goals, and you don't project it and somehow kind of keep some kind of tabs on it. Some people keep an accountability board. Some people, you know, like keep notes and math and stuff like that. And also, like, you know, through their inventory, however you look it over, whatever platform, like an eBay, you can go in your stats and stuff. But I'm all about, like, if you don't get up every day and really just think it through, because, you know, it's all about discipline. If you don't have the discipline, what are you doing here? You're wasting your time. You're not being effective. You're not being efficient. We all have our bummer days where we want to sit in bed and don't do nothing, you know, like eat junk food and watch a stupid movie. But it's like, for me, the latest is like 10 to 14 hour days, you know, and I don't mind that because I'm going to put the work in, and especially around 4Q, I'm going to triple it up. You know, I'm not going to sleep if I don't have to. If I don't have to visit a relative I don't want to, I'm not going to go and or I'm going to bring my laptop and do the work while I'm eating, you know, Thanksgiving dinner. It's like, what about you guys? Like, do you have any particular aims? And like, it's easy to say, oh, I got this goal, but like, what are like the little aims that bring you and step you up to those steps? Because, like, you know, whatever it is you do.
When I first started, it was I wanted to do 100 gross a day. And then, because that was, you know, I was just starting out, and I was like, that's pretty good. And then I did, I was like, okay, I hit 100 gross a day, like very consistently. And then I was like, well, I want 200. Well, now I hit 200 gross a day, almost every day for the last 60 days.
Nice.
So now I want, you know, 300, and I'm creeping up on almost 300 consistently a day. I don't have real big days though, because I think I'm so consistent on eBay is that I always list, like, on my low days, 10, and that's when I go sourcing, but I'll still list 10. But on my fast days, I can do 40 to 50.
Wow.
But I'm like very consistent on doing that every day. Like, even if I go sourcing for 8 hours, I still list 10 items. So that's my aim, is that I want 300, you know, gross sales, but I definitely want 250,000 gross sales, like, in 3 years.
Yeah,
See,
and I
if
think that's
you don't even think about it, you're not going to get there. Sorry, go ahead, Kat.
Right.
No, I think that's attainable. And I think, and one of my goals for myself, and I think it's a good one for anybody, is you need to list what you want your sales to be. So if I want to make $500 in sales a day, then I better be listing $500 in items per day, because as that stuff goes out, you have to replenish it.
Yep.
Plus you need to grow it. So realistically, you would want to list like 600 or 700 if your goal is $500 a day, because you're not ever gonna grow your store if you're selling and not listing more than you're selling.
Well, let's move beyond realistically. Like, that's the catchphrases that we do as resellers. We tell ourselves, and I to me, it becomes a trap at times, because it's like, yeah, you kind of get yourself in a condition. And I'm talking about, like, when I say positive, like, it's always about numbers, and like Julian was saying, like, I want to reach this plateau. I want to, you know, and these are obtainable goals. They're realistic. they're they're something you can hyper focus, but if you don't keep your aim on it, you end up, people go off to the side a little bit. We do this, we do that, or we make a bad buy and whatnot. But like, what is it in your life that you've cut out? What can you do? What realistically, like in the end goal is like, do I ever really want to buy that? Like in the end, when I know there's more of that's been doing me like super good, like Kat said, I'm going to go out and find it. I'm going to get it. It's there, and it's like, why not reach up a little bit, in a way that's like, these are the positives, because I look for snags. I look for traps. I look for these things that, it's not just in a psychological kind of way, but things that like drag my body down, things that kind of like don't motivate my spirit to really want to list 50 to 75 in a day. Like, I mean, if a guy like OBX Eric is in one freaking day 80 items, boom,
That's a lot.
like, I'm like motivated. I get in there and people are like, oh, you're just goofing off, and it's like, no, you know what it is, I got all my drafts lined up, and like when I'm with him, I'll like, for me it's more than I usually do. It's triple sometimes. It's like, but I'll have, and then even if it takes me 2 days, at least I have that stuff, and when I list it, boom, those sales come pouring in, so like realistically it's a positive, affirmations, and then the aim that you kind of like take this focus, you want to run with it, and you want to do it on a regular basis. It's like exercise. If you don't, find that consistency,
Yeah, I think that's key. Consistency.
It goes there, but it's like, it's also, I'll give Tommy credit here that he was mentioning, you got to have the discipline. I mean, it's one thing to be consistent, but if you don't have the discipline to keep the redundant, cycles going, and we're all going to get bummed out. We're all going to have our issues. We're all going to like get sick, or we have like life issues. Yeah, that's part of life. But do you want to get caught up in the drama of it, or I'd rather bury myself in work and like come out, in the end where like I'm so beat up. It's like, but that's okay, because when I sit down and I go, I can't do anymore right now, at least I have reason.
Yeah, for me, what I find. Oh, go ahead, Kat.
No, I was going to ask. No, go. I was trying to get you.
For me, basically, I have a full-time job, so I'm working from home.
Yeah.
So what I usually do is I'll get up in the morning, have my coffee, and then I've already picked out the things that I want to go ahead and list. So I'll go ahead and down and actually get photos of those, have those on my phone, start working. And then later on in the day, once I've actually finished up work, then I can go ahead and start listing. So for me, since I'm a part-time, I've set a goal for at least five items a day. Sometimes I don't always meet that, but by the end of the week, as long as I've met the average of 5 a day, then I felt I accomplished something.
It's difficult when you're doing it like full time, or you're doing a job. But I'll reach out. I'll reach out. You're on Instagram, right?
No, I have Facebook, but not Instagram.
I'll find you. I'll hound you. And as Tommy says, I'll stalk you. But I'm going to motivate you. Don't just do 5 this week every day. Do 6 and 7. And while you're sitting on the pot, I don't care if you're at work, you're taking lunch, you have no excuse. You can bring something with you. You can have drafts ready and stuff like that. But just do it, man. And I'm telling you, when you do this, you start that consistency. It's going to be like, goes beyond mediocre, and you're like, okay.
Oh yeah, and what I find a lot of time is watching like the lives or watching somebody's video. I'll have my phone ready and I'll have items ready to go, and I'm sitting there looking up. And then once I see what I like, I'll go ahead and actually set up a draft. And so I'll have several drafts in my phone. So when I get ready to actually start listing, I get the photos, put them on there. I'll redouble check it one more time before I list it, just to see what's going on with it. And then I'll go ahead and post it. But when you're working a full-time job, other than Kat, it's a little bit hard to get all those.
No, listen, but that's always been the case. Like when I did project management for like, 10 years or more. And you know what I did part-time? I did this, and I did really good at it too for a while. Like only because I had a guy and I had a lot of stock of stuff, and I was tired. I was raising a family, and at the same time I was teaching, 2 days a week. So I'm telling you, man, if you really want to do it, you can dig in deep. But I'll tell you what, sometimes you just got to say, I don't need to go listen to, this live tonight. I love it, but, or listen to the replay and put it on, you know, later, because then you're less likely to be distracted. But like, if your potential is like, why are you doing this, even bothering to do it part-time? You know what I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, like, my question for like the positivity for as far as resellers go, what is your motivation constantly? And I ask that almost daily. Like, okay, what's my motivation today? You know, like, why do I want to keep doing this? Am I happy with it? You know, by the end of the month, I got to have like this really big criteria. And it's like, did I even get close to what I wanted to do?
So Louie, you're part-time too?
No, right now I'm switching back into full-time. Like, I would say I'm pretty much full-time. But I do have side jobs. I have, like, you know, I do contract work on the side. I do have some other little projects I work with people on. So, but
and I think you need to look, and I don't know if Yakov is in here, but I'm going to use Yakov as an example. Yakov's happy to make $2. He'll be like, I made 30 cents on this, and he's happy with it. So it depends on why you're doing it. He's doing it for the fun of it, just to do it. He's not doing it for the income. He's just doing it to do it. And for me, and my big push and how I get this is I want to go part-time at nursing by the end of the year. And I make almost 6 figures nursing, which means I need to replace, which is $50,000. And that would be 100,000 in sales minimum running.
Roles. That's like, you know, but that's also a big thing to like really want to step out to that. Like, I was talking to Tommy like months ago. He's the Buffalo picker guy. And like, he is so like driven. And I'm like, I'm watching and I'm like, and I the one thing it came down to is like, how disciplined are you? You know, it's like, it's one thing to be motivated. You could sit there on your couch and be motivated and want to do this. But, and like you said, it depends on your intentions, Kat, you know, but like for him, he wants that warehouse. He wants to like reach he has these very admirable goals, but I'm like, that ain't my goal. But he's doing it, you know, and it's like, how do you jump into that atmosphere of like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm good at. This is what I know I want to do. And I want to like, just every day, like just reach a little bit higher. I'm not saying, you know, hurry up, get it over with, and you know.
So Richard, what is your goal ultimately for it? Like, are you just doing it for fun, or where would you like to be?
I think at some point in time with my current job, I don't see me doing that. Obviously for the rest of my life, it could be very stressful, and so what I'm looking to do is try to figure out what I want to do after I'm done doing that. And is eBay something I want to do that I could do full time? So it's more or less like an experimental type thing for me right now, trying to figure out if I can make an income on it and you know, make a decent living on it. So for me, seeing how I just started in February, everything is a learning experience for me. It's an education. Mm-hmm. So I really like getting on the lives. I like talking to people. I like figuring out what they're doing, what they've done, and their successes that they've done in order to get there. So that's really my long-term goal with eBay right now. My short-term goal is obviously get my numbers up as far as what I have listed, and then obviously to bring up my average sales, my profit costs on the items and everything like that. So,
and that's the hard part too, because like once you start reaching those numbers higher, and then it becomes like, oh, yeah, that's I can easily do 10 a week now or whatever. I'm just saying, then you're going to see your sales. So you're like Julian and I were saying, like you're constantly going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
That's one thing I found about eBay. It's hard. It's not consistent. You'll have good weeks. You'll have bad weeks. Some of the stuff you think won't sell, it sells right away. I went on vacation, and before I went on vacation, my 90 days was, I think it was like 45 for the 90 days, and so I was doing really good. Well, wow. I went on vacation for 4 weeks. I did not put my store in vacation mode. I put it basically 30-day handling time. Okay. So I'm not sure if it would have been better to put it in vacation mode or to put the extended. I was still selling things. I think 2 of them actually requested to cancel because they saw the handling time. And then when I got back, I had to get back into it. And then my numbers just slowly went down, and so I'm trying to get those numbers back up again.
Aw, I can't find it to click on it. There it is. Prison to Profit. Thank you so much for the $24.99 super chat. I greatly appreciate that.
He's doing some really cool things lately. I've been watching him on Instagram. It's like he just got that exciting personality. He's putting it out there, and he's meeting all these. I don't care what level of people he meets. Like, you know, you can talk about was it Harry Tornado or something, and he's met him. But then he like had this really cool video where like some guy he knew, and he met him at the bins. And he's like, hey, you know, and the guy goes, I know you, but I saw you on this video, and then like, yeah, and he made a nice little video, and he like reached back. Like,
I will not lie. So Prison to Profit, I dropped, and it's funny because Tommy Bernhard, who was in the chat, called me out on it multiple times. I dropped plenty of pretty super chats to get my name out there in the beginning and get more subscribers to my channel. So I have done that. I drop super chats regular now, but not for the same intentions. Listen, Tommy. Tommy would call every time I dropped a super chat and I was trying to get my name out, he would call me out. Like he would just say it flat out. So at least you're saying like you have to donate. So you're calling yourself out. I do appreciate that again. If you guys aren't subscribed to Prison to Profit, go check him out.
He's gonna be at 2K by like October. I mean, he's gonna probably way past it, but he just like jumped right at 1K quick. It's like it doesn't surprise me. He's got such a charisma, but like, you know, his enthusiasm is really. You know.
I think that Dave is like that, and Dave has blown up. And I'll go ahead. Here we go again with Dalton wanting the full screen. I'll go ahead and give it away. Dave, Tesla Picker will be our guest. He's down on the floor throwing a temper tantrum. Tesla Picker Dave, which I haven't seen him in here tonight, but Tesla Picker is our guest next week. So you guys will have to come by. I love Dave, and it's so funny. He said, oh yeah, I was just a baby last time I was on, because he was on my show a few months ago. So I'm happy. He's like almost at 7,000 subs. He is like
crazy.
Froggy Flips has done the same. Like both of those guys are amazing and just have great personalities that people love to watch. And I appreciate, you're definitely blessing me. I think that's my biggest super chat. Joey, I think, gave me, I don't know if Joey's still in here. I think Joey gave me a $20 one when I first got monetized.
No comparison. She's encouraging.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to say it. I'm just laughing because Tommy used to give me so much crap about super chatting.
Yeah. Yeah, Joey, you just got beat.
Oh. He's probably not even listening anymore. He wasn't here earlier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dalton! What's up?
Oh.
What's up? What's up? Look.
Say hi. He is so grumpy. He's like not having it.
Are you grumpy? Quit acting like Julian.
He is not. Listen, he has gotten like terrible too. When we went to estate sales this weekend, he kept hiding in the closets. And I'm like, where is he? I would turn around and he'd be gone. Every time he's in a closet, laying on the floor, not getting into stuff. He knows not to touch breakables because I have so many breakable things. And every time he ran and hid in a closet. And I'm like, so lately I'm trying to go before he wakes up. I go early in the morning.
You do good. You do so good, Kat. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about you. Like you're like pushing this job. Like I'll reach out and say, hey, how you doing? Like, no, I'm at work. I'm like, she's like listing stuff, posting. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like, don't worry about it. I got all my drafts here. I'm at lunch.
Yeah. Well, no, like, so some days, and I would probably say it's only about 25% of the days. I'll have great patients. I give them their medicines. They walk, they talk. They don't need me to do anything else until lunchtime. And I have 2 hours of downtime after I get my charting and stuff done.
But it can change fast, right? It can change.
Oh, it can change really fast. It can change very fast. And then I do absolutely nothing. As far, other than what I need to do. And of course, nursing is going to come first when I'm at work. Dalton's trying to brush my hair. This might not be great.
Solid idea.
So
When
And
you're at
then
work.
other days, because I go to different places, I might have no patients until noon. So I have 5 hours that I'm sitting there, like I'll do my work education and then I'm listing or doing whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the Carolina Gamecocks behind me. I am an alumni.
I was so surprised. This is totally off topic, but I clicked because it popped up on my Facebook. I love football. I love college football. And I watch NFL, but I definitely like college more than I like NFL. And the tickets are still $100 to $250. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought they'd be cheaper because they'd be thinking people wouldn't be going, but they're more. Like normally they're like 50. And they're
I
$100
noticed some of the, like
for
the NFL tickets there in like your area were actually cheaper in Carolina. I was like, what? And then like you go elsewhere, they're like $200, $300, $400, for NFL tickets. I'm like, it's ludicrous. It's like just crazy.
My Dalton's making it look like my hair's like totally static.
Who
Back there.
cares about you? So you guys have any I don't know. I mean, we were talking about goals and aims earlier. Like, do you have any like specific something different that you don't talk about to too much people, whether it's reseller related, but like anything that's like on your radar that you'd like to see change, like in terms of just coming up at the turn of the year, like you want to see, I need this for my reselling, my room or something like that, or a computer, or just even the way you do things. Is there any like little small goals you got on your plate? Mine is a van.
A what?
A van. I'm saving for this van.
That makes, yeah. I actually was thinking about that the other day. Like the truck was full and it started to rain when I was coming home, and I didn't have any like tarps in the back. I was like, all this is going to get ruined. I had 2 truck fulls. That's when my dad was helping me, and it was raining. And I was like, just go as fast as you can. I mean, it's already too late. Like it's already wet. So it is what it is. The van is a good idea. Like you're talking about one of those little sprinter vans.
So so I'm talking to a guy in Connecticut, and he's like, he's like, why do you want a truck? I'm like, part of me wants a truck, but there is this like, and he's like, boom, get this, and he's mentioned a couple, and he's got this one, and everything he says makes sense, and he was telling about like, how easy it is to fix a particular brand and whatnot. But for me, I'll still entertain doing these market days, and I have a high-end market. I'm waiting for that to open. It's been over a half a year. I walked away with like $1K in my pocket cash, because I know my demographic, I know my clientele. I sell high-end art, and rare antiques, oddities, stuff like that, and that's it. Like if I had a van, I come home, leave it in the van, lock it up. I don't have to worry about it, like you said, either getting stolen, rained on, whatever. But it's also, it's an affordability to me that if I come across like Richard in Walmart and they go, we got 2 pallets of this stuff. Come and get it. We'll give it to you for $2. There's my van. Boom, throw it in there, and then I'll throw it in my, garage or warehouse or whatever. It's like, but I'm always trying to think that's going to get me a little bit closer to like, obtaining like some kind of consistency of like, where can I replenish this? Where can I like not have to go out and struggle that much? Like I got 200 of these items and do like Kat said, list 10, 20 at a time. Boom, low price, zoom it out. Because this guy in Connecticut, he sends me sometimes his stock and he's like, he doesn't even want money. Just pay for shipping. I got, how many products in this box? Is there 16? It's like a foot flush. I'm like, what am I going to sell foot flush for? It's like what's a foot flush? It's like you hook it up to your toilet, you just step on it, and you don't have to. Tell you what, I got 2 left.
Really?
Yeah, and I made this deal. I got to sell like 75 cents to $1 more than he does, and we're on the same platform. It is like it's crazy, but like always, like where can you get this next connection? What do you need to do to get to that next connection? And where are you gonna, So I'm trying to think how much more outside the box, and how can I build my relationships up? If I had a van, I missed one opportunity, and it was like, and the guy goes, I understand, but just be honest. I need to move on. Give it to the next person. Said, I can't right now. Consider me next time. And it's all because I didn't have a van.
So I would like to get an enclosed trailer. I have a flatbed. I'd like to get it, and I have really good tarps, and I have nets, the cargo nets that go over it and actually hold the tarps down. I learned that after losing multiple items out of pallets. I spent $60 on some cargo nets that go over the pallets.
But it's good to know that. You know what I mean?
But I would like an enclosed one, and I theoretically would like to get higher dollar items, and I would like to get a third storage area, which would be my second shed, to put that stuff in. And I'm thinking I might, if I do start getting some higher profit stuff, I might just put the money out maybe for a storage unit for a couple of months to see if it's going to continue working before I buy another shed. And I have room to put like 100 sheds on my property if I want. I have 11 acres. So I have space if I want to do that.
As far as for me, I think trailer, things like that, I think if you're selling full-time or plan to go full-time, I think, those are good goals that you need to be looking into. For me, that would just be overwhelming. If I got a trailer full of stuff, it would take me forever to get all that stuff listed.
But like, what little things can you do that would make it easier while you're working full-time? Like what, like, do you need a computer? Do you need, what is, what things do you think, God, this would make my business so much more easier, and if easier is efficient, what do you have on your radar? I'm just curious.
For me, I think I like getting inventory where there's a multiple. So all I've got to do is list it one time and then just keep upping the stock. If I get a lot of those, that moves out fairly quickly. That would be very good to do, because then you're not constantly listing. You're just basically looking to see what the inventory level is and readjusting it. Yeah. But then again, I like going out and sourcing, and I like finding those one-off items. But the one-off items, they've got to be the bigger ticket items. And so, I'm always trying to look out for those things, but you got to keep a balance. You need stuff.
I don't think, it doesn't really matter how big of a fish you become. You know what I mean? Like, I got friends in the Amazon game, and they're like, they're doing 6 figures. And I'm like, how do you do it? But then again, I see their strategy. I know where they come. They work hard to get there. And they also invested really wisely. Like they said, it didn't come overnight. But also they had somebody like a partner like saying, I just need to invest a little bit. And I'll get your, and they work it out. But it's like, if you can do that and just like come back at hard, you can play with it in so many different ways. I think what you're doing, that's good. I would just keep those focuses. And one day you're going to go, I don't need this job anymore. I can do this. I can do this full time. Because one day you're going to retire from whatever it is you're doing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that I quit a corporate job. I was managing a full team and stuff like that. And project management, it can be tedious, and it can be really challenging, and it can be hardcore. And I'm a fun-loving guy. And when I saw myself get to like one of the most negative peaks, where like I was making people cry, I had to fire people every day, and it was just like I wanted things to be tight and neat. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather do this for myself. I'd rather be harder on myself and still fun and and do it in a way where I'd like to see grow into something that's going to be fruitful, and so that way I can retire decent.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be complex and big and rich. It just something like humble and decent.
Well, one thing I found out about since I started doing eBay is really the education I've got on different products, different items, glassware, clothing, toys, vintage toys, you name it. I mean, it's just, had no clue when I started out, what things were even worth and what's actually worthless. And so, it's definitely been a very educational for me.
I think it's important, I mean, I'd like to hear, both you and Julian, but like that's part of like one of the things that I was telling you about. When I get up and I got this daily aim, one of them is, what is the one new thing I'm going to learn today? And it sounds so cheesy and cliche, but what, and like it could be in a reseller's, and mostly it's about my reselling right now. It's like, when am I going to come in there and go ask? Because I don't know everything. I love people when they come off and they come off as like know-it-alls, or like they're in the chats and that they always going to one-up you or something like that. And it's like, that's good. If you think you know it all, I'd love to see your mansion. It's like, let's go party. But like, what can we do? What can we do to like you said, you can still do Amazon and make six figures, but I'm going to still go out and source too. And like, if I find a nice shop or something that I like, because it's just that kind of that mentality. Like, if I found rare, like, $500 antiques in a thrift shop once, and I was like, why is this sitting here? Nobody knew what it was. It's like, that's, we do that because of the thrill, but also, you're never going to stop doing that. It's like, you're going to stop at a garage sale and like, oh my God, they got that bike. It's like only like $50 or something. It's worth $700. You're going to stop and take it.
But some people, like you're saying, you want to make relationships and find replenishables. That is not my goal. That is not what I want at all. I like the hunt. I like finding. I would like to educate myself more so I find more $500 pieces and increase how much I'm making. But I like private label, and like that just does not interest me. And it would be the easiest way to scale up. That's going to be your easiest way to scale up, is replenishables. I will buy like the CVS nasal mist if I see a pallet of it, but that's not something I can get again. I found it once. I'm not going to find it again. But it was 2,700 bottles that I've been selling for the last 8 months.
Richard's working full time. Like if he can just find, something that he's got this little tiny corner in his garage that he can find, I don't think it's his, I don't know, I can't speak for you, but like, I would definitely, like, if you're working full time and that gets you where you don't have to think about it, just resells, like cats, whatever, eye wash, or, but
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't walk by it if I saw it, but like, I'm not making wholesale accounts looking for like wholesale stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I just don't want to do it. I mean, I have friends who do private label who make six figures doing private label and would help me and teach me. And I just have I don't want to know. I don't care.
Well, if it becomes to the point where like you end up going, oh gosh, this is a job now, are you enjoying what you're doing? Do you like it after a while? Like, or is it the redundancy of it is like, can I at least get out of this? Because then all of a sudden it becomes like phone covers and beanie babies and stuff that you're stuck with, in 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of the wholesale pallet stuff is stuff that didn't sell on the shelves. Unless you're getting it directly from a manufacturer, you're going to have a hard time finding stuff that's still selling. Heidi, I posted on Instagram. So for all of you that don't follow me on Instagram, the wheelchair arrived safely. I didn't put any bubble wrap or paper. There was nothing. It was 3 large Amazon boxes. I left it completely together, just, folded it up and basically built a box around it. And it arrived safely to New Mexico in 3 days. The buyer was extremely happy with it. He said it arrived safe. I mean, but wheelchairs are pretty tough. You got to think about it. That's a heavy, pretty sturdy item. One thing I did do was make the top box smaller than the bottom so they couldn't turn it upside down. Yep, that's you.
Hey, how are we doing on time?
We're over. We're always over.
Can I mention something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I meant to mention earlier. So, if you guys know Cali Reseller Louie, he's in the chat sometimes, and he said to say hi tonight, but he's helping somebody with an auction. But him and I are going to start a new project. It's on Mondays. It's going to be bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks we're going to do this thing. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we call it. It's going to be on Mondays. It's just going to be him and I in the afternoon, and it's probably going to be, I think, about like 1 p.m. Pacific, which is 3 Centrals, 3 Central Standard Time, and I'm calling it how are we putting this? So we have a working tile right now, and like we're going to see where this goes. It'll be 1 week, it'll be on my channel. The next week, it'll be on his, and it's It's going to be the Monday Mindful Merchants. So we're just going to basically talk about stuff like we did tonight. We're going to talk about positive, kind of perspectives that a reseller can take, whether it's aims and goals, out of like, these negative territories that a lot of us see us sometimes fall into traps or redundancies, whether it's just, how not to buy something that's not going to be good for you, and, how to just whatever you can, project out there. And we're also leaving it where, like, eventually I want to do it where, like, people can email a question and we'll bring it up. And hopefully we'll have a guest. So, but it'll be called Monday Mindful Merchants. We're all merchants. We're all here. We're trying to be as mindful as we can. And I think the more we contribute like that, the more this community can be a little bit tighter. And, we can bond better in one way. Like, you may be on your lane doing what you're doing, but we can come across as, hey, I saw you the other day. I got some questions for you.
Now, Louie, is that going to be on your channel, or are you guys starting a new channel?
So no, we're not going to start a new channel. I'm going to do it 1 week on mine, and then like every 2 weeks, and then it'll be on his and mine. And if it works out where it's really good and people are showing better interest, we might up it. But right now, we just wanted to, like, 2 times a month, because he's a full-time dad, and I have a daughter too, and it's hard to kind of balance a little few things. So I want some family time in my life and my friends, and also just doing reselling. It takes a lot out of you. So, and doing YouTube, I'm learning from Kat. I don't know how the heck she balances it. She drives me nuts. I'm like, how do you do it?
It takes, what I've learned is this takes a lot of time, tons of it. Like,
it's fun. I'll say this much, I'm like, I don't want to do this. And then my friends are like, just do it. You got a good personality, you have fun. And most importantly, you're meeting, guys like you, and gals. So, what were you saying, Julian?
So what?
No, what were you finish what you're saying? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was just saying that it does, like, YouTube and reselling. It takes, because again, I'm really new to this. I only started like 10 months ago, and I never thought it would take this much time to go through stuff. Like, tomorrow, I bought that entire closet. I hustle pretty quick. I'll get there at 9, pick it up, load it in an hour, but it might take me all day to go through it. Then I'll list most of it the same night, for 4 or 5 hours. So it takes, YouTube takes like incredible amount of time. Like, so everything.
That would be something I'd like to talk about. Like, how do you keep those mindful techniques that can help you set boundaries? How are you going to set your time? If you got time management issues, maybe that'll be like one topic. Like, what, a lot of people are distracted. I'm this and that. Well, how do you get onto a time management schedule? What can you do is, like, as far as routines to motivate you? What are you going to do? Somebody joked in the thing that, like, Louis getting all Tony Robbins. I'm like, you know what? If that's what it takes you to kind of get a little bit, a little fire in your butt, I think we all can always do better, one step at a time. But I think also sometimes just the motivation itself is like, the drive. We all have these drives in us. And it's like, I think there's so much potential that we don't even tap into, that I know when I see myself on a good day, I accomplish. I'm like, today I washed my laundry. I cooked food for the week. I did this. I did. I listed 40 things. Boom. I'm like, today's a good day. I'm going to go for a jog now. It's like, whoa, where did I get all this time?
And then the next day you do like 10 things. You're like, whoa, it's already 9 p.m. What happened?
Squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of pictures said, they've been doing it for 8 years and it's a job. And it's a fun job, but they're right. If it was like super, super fun in games, everybody would do it. Yeah. And it would, because I can see it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now I can see how, it's super fun. And I have this thing for buying like big lots of things. I think that's the most fun. I see myself like buying a storage unit soon, doing something, because I like different things. And, but it is, it's work. For sure. When I used to watch this and I wasn't doing it, I would look at people and say, dude, that's easy. All you're doing is taking a picture and shipping it. So much more. So much. Then to scale it to make,
how long did it take you to get that foot out of your mouth?
About 3 days.
It's like, boom. Oh, the leather boot tastes great. But
yeah, I was thinking, because my girlfriend used to do this, and I was like, that's simple. What do why is it taking you so much time? And then she was like, just do it. So I flipped a couple things. I was like, I got this. And then, you start doing it, you're like, this is taking forever. And then to pack things without the correct boxes, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's funny because like when I first started watching you, Julian, I'm like, okay, here's this new cat. He's on there. And the first thing you did was like, hey, I'm Julian. No. I'm like, holy moly, this guy is the fastest talker. He's like, I want to get this video done. And boom, boom, boom. I'm like, he's got his mind on something. But like, I laughed and I'm like, and at first I was like taken aback. I'm like, why go so fast? And I'm like, we don't have time. We don't have time to wait. I like your initiative. I like, you're like, but there was an energy there, and I'm like, it took a while to go like, what are you up to? I think I reached out to you and I'm like, dude.
You did. You're like, you're the fastest talker I know. And I was like, I am. And I love you. Yeah, I love YouTube now because I meet so many people that tell me like a whole bunch of information I didn't know. Like if I post something on Instagram and I'm like, I don't know what this is, I usually will get a response. Same with like YouTube videos. If I'm like, hey, I got a bad buy and I show it and they're like, it's not as bad as you think. And then they tell me exactly, the keywords to look up. So that's why, YouTube is more of an investment than it's like an education. I
think you hit it right on like the target. Like when I say aim, when you do daily aims, your aim is like a bow and arrow. If you're shooting that aim, you want to hit as close to that target as you can. If you can go from 30 to 20 back down to 10 to the middle target, because like you said, it's an investment. A lot of people come here to play, and that's okay. I like YouTube to be entertaining. I want it to be fun. I don't want it to be full of drama, but I want it to have these potentials. We're like, what we're doing is we're having a conversation, and it's like I don't have that all the time, And I think a lot. I'm gonna go out and limb, and I know people don't like to talk about this, but I think a lot of us we get into territory in our head. We're like, I'm bored. Boredom to me equates as I'm lonely. I want somebody to like connect with. This is a major connection here, but like you said, if you can reach to that point where like, my gosh, this is a potential gold mine for us to learn. But like with Kat, like I know Kat, you get on there, you say hi to her, something like that. It's good, but like she's like, okay, what do you want to say? Get to the point. Like, don't waste time. Reach the people. We want to share, but like, what do you want to know? Okay, if I can help you, boom. But like when we have time to afford to do this, it's a luxury. To me, it's a luxury.
Oh yeah.
But it's
it's also scheduled in my book. Like I know that scheduling. Like I had an auction before this. I know I have auctions on Thursdays. So like I know Tuesdays now. I'm here to learn, talk, and it's actually really good.
Make it work for you. If you can't afford to do this, I mean, by all means, you may have to step down or something. That's good because then you know where your priorities are. Everybody has priorities. And, for me, it's always first and foremost is family. You know what I mean? And also my health. And also, like, when I say health, body, mind, and spirit. If my body's not doing good, I ain't showing up, and it affects my mind. And if I'm, like, bummed out about something, like somebody died that I was close to, I'm not going to deal with it. But if you can work in a way where, like, you got all this motivation, you got a lot of support system, and you got a factor, like, where you can, like, here's the drive. It's because Julian said, his packages out there, man, I didn't have crap. But you know what? I know he told me something the other day that equates to what he was doing, and only I got that, maybe because of something you said, it's gonna go a long way, and it's gonna afford you to, that potential to like, I'm gonna stick around a little longer. I want to quit. I don't want to do YouTube. I don't want to, Kat and I were talking one day, we're like, what is with all these people not showing up? People haven't done videos in a month and this, and
they just disappear. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's one of those things where that's what I'm saying. If you can keep a little ounce of like positivity and just be nice to people, like go up and just, everybody's busy, but go on their Instagram and just write something. Just, hey, I think you really smashed it this week. And I think because you sold that, or I saw it, you picked that up, or just talk, because sometimes that's just, potential. And then you build your relationships. There's this 13-year-old kid. He's a really nice guy, and he's actually starting his YouTube journey. But he was on the other channel, the guy named Chris, that he does every day. Like he has these like talk groups and stuff like that. He's got like 10,000 followers. But I met him on there, and this kid like been on Instagram hounding me, and I'm like, He's like, how do I get up there? How do I get my numbers up? Da, 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 da. You know, I'm like, dude, that's the wrong way to look at it. You're looking at it as numbers. You're not looking at relationships. You got to come in. You got to have meaningful like conversation, or people are going to like not want to deal with you. You know, you're going to become annoying, or, you know, you're there as a joker. Some people, they don't get me. They don't see me talk serious like I'm talking to you guys tonight. They see me in the chats. Oh, Louie's being goofy. You know, like Kat, it took her a while to warm up to me. She's like, what is with you, Louie? Like, you're frisky tonight, you know. But when it comes to reselling, let's talk. I'm ready to go. I'm serious. And I'm not going to BS, you know. It's, make it fun. Love it. You know, have, you know, and do it, but be serious. Don't, you know, to me, it's like, get off the pod. If you're
Yeah, I agree. Have fun, but be serious. Like, you can't, like, this is, it's like, it's definitely, you know.
You can be a job, but you can really enjoy doing it. That's what I mean by.
Oh yeah, I love it. Like, I cannot wait to go pick this closet up tomorrow. Like, I will be so excited. I'll wake up at 5 and list some stuff and like just sit there outside the house, like, let me in.
What is it inside you that's setting that off?
I want to know what's inside the closet.
I mean, it could be simple as a mystery, but like, but what is it inside you? Like, that really like pulled. What's that magnetic draw? What is it that's causing that? Is it curiosity? Is it a sense of wonder? It's for some people, it's simple as I want that money. I want that
it would
money.
Be the money thing. I live very simplistic, and I don't have kids, and I don't have a lot of bills. I paid off most of everything. I knew in my full-time career that I was going to eventually leave it. I had like 18 more years left before I could retire, and I knew I wasn't going to make it. Like, I could see the future, and I was like, I don't have 18 more years in me. I don't know if I have 18
years. You saw that boundary though. You know?
Yeah, I was like, I'm done. Like, I was done 2 years ago, and I pushed through it this hard, so I'm leaving soon. So I knew that I was going to leave, so I paid off everything, got rid of expensive cars and boats and all types of stuff. And now, so money, it's like, you know, I have to make something. You know, like, I have bills, I have a mortgage, but I live very simple. So it's more like curiosity, and it's all, but I want to build it. Like, I want to build, like, I do want a warehouse. I want to have 10,000 listed on eBay, 20,000. Like, I want a ton of stuff, but I think a lot of it's curiosity. Like, I love to see what's inside stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, that's why I buy all the lots too.
Yeah, there's a closed box
for that like hidden treasure.
Yeah.
Guys, I am gonna wrap it up. I will let everybody. I'll make you guys big so you can say bye. We'll let Louie go first, and then you guys, all 3 of the guys' channels are linked in the description below. So if you are not subscribed yet, please subscribe to them. I'm gonna mute my mic here if I can. Dalton, touch my phone. I can't even see my mute button anymore. So, all right, Louie, say your final words.
Final words.
Dalton just undid you being big.
Thank you, Dalton. I like that. No, but serious, like, you guys, on Monday, I'm going to start this thing. Maybe by tomorrow, I'll post it. Kelly, Reseller Luis, and I, we're going to like co-host this thing, and we want to like build this community. But I think we want to put a little mortar between the bricks. If there's something that we can help make connections between other people, you know, I think that's kind of what you know, Julian and Kat and I, and you know, we're like kind of pointing in that direction. And so like, my main thing is just keep connecting, you know, talk more, make those bold moves, educated risks. Thank you for letting me be here.
Look, I cut him off. That was me, not Dalton.
I just want to say thank you to everybody in the reselling community. Everybody I've found so far has been really, really nice, willing to help everyone out. Man, you just don't find that in the real world. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody and say thank you, especially for me being a new reseller. It's nice. I've reached out to Kat many times, and she's always responded back to me. So, and also I want to say thanks to Kat and Julian for giving me this opportunity to be on their channel. So, thank you.
It's good to see you. One last thing.
Thank you for coming on.
How did you get your name? Like, why did you pick that name backwards? Why did you choose to pick the Ford Pinto?
Okay. The story behind that, it's my first car in high school was a Ford Pinto. And how I came across that name was when I was in the military, we used to play D&D a lot. So I came up with the character name, and the character name was, I just said, well, okay, forward pedal backwards and OtnipDrof flips. So that's how I came across it, and
In a
it stuck
nutshell,
to me ever since.
Now we
All right,
know.
Richard, we appreciate you coming on. Julian,
Yes,
Say goodbye.
thank you everybody for coming on. Thank you for everybody being in the chat. I do appreciate it. This is how I learn. Like I didn't know anything 10 months ago, and YouTube is, you guys are the reason why I'm so successful today, or I think that I'm successful because, you know, this is what I love to do, and it's all really because of YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to me, go subscribe to me if you would. Bearded Thrift Machine on YouTube. I think I'm close to like 450, so I'm happy with that. I have a solid 450 that always watch my videos, so thank you for that. And I really am just here for this, to talk and to learn. And somebody said, be careful what you wish for. They have 156,000 listings. That is insane. I never said 156. I said maybe 20,000. But hey, if I get there, I won't be upset about that either, because I can always downsize, because, you know, you can do whatever you want in life. So, but I do appreciate it. Thank y'all. I see Justin Times flipping in here, and I've just watched one of his videos. I love watching him. He's good. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Kat, for letting me be your co-host.
I appreciate you being on with me. Richard, Louie, thank you guys both for coming on. I appreciate it. And Josh is up after us every Tuesday, Josh and Yakov at 10 p.m. So if you guys have nothing to do, hang out in the chat, and I will see you guys. I'm putting out a video tomorrow, and we're live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So